Welcome to Moist. This is episode 5 of Moist, and I forgot to turn off the fan in the bathroom. That is such relief. You know when you don't know that the buzzer or like the air filter is on and then you turn it off and it's like, oh my god. That's what this show is. That's a metaphor for what Moist is. I take the buzzy air filter that is the problem going on in your life and I turn the switch off and bring you relief. So welcome to Moist. It's a show about everything uncomfortable, and I make the uncomfortable things comfortable from my bathtub. Come on in. The water is moist. You might notice that the water today is blue, and I don't know why that is. I tried to put bubbles in and make it like a fun bubble bath experience, and the bubbles dissolved immediately and turned into bluish water. So that's what we've got for you guys today. And the water is a perfect temperature. It is wonderful. So today, normally what I do at the beginning of Moist is I talk about something going on in general, and I give you my moist take on what's going on. And I had some other stuff planned, but then someone commented when I asked everyone on Facebook what was making them uncomfortable today. My friend Phoebe posted something that inspired what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I'm going to read her comment and then I'll get into it. So here we go. Phoebe says, an Ariana Grande concert was just bombed and I'm eating popcorn. So that is what, I thought that was really interesting. Everyone's talking about the Ariana Grande concert and how it was bombed and how it might be an act of terrorism and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, my friend Phoebe felt awkward or uncomfortable just eating popcorn. And the thing is, you know, people died and I'm doing Moist for my bathtub. And it's this awkward moment after a tragedy happens where people don't know what to do or how to act, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. With life in general, like we talk about things being too soon, like how soon is it to make a joke? People are already making really bad jokes on my Facebook about this event, and you know that is. You know, that's up to them. It wasn't even a good joke. I feel like when it comes to humor, there's nothing that's off limits as long as you can make it funny enough. So I think you do justice to anybody who's in a tragedy or anybody who's a victim or anybody who's going through a hard time if you can make their hard thing funny, because if you don't, then that's showing a lack of respect for what they're going through. Clearly, I'm not able to make it that funny, so I'm talking pretty seriously about this. But I do think this opens a bigger concept of like what is appropriate to say ever, and you know, how sensitive do we need to be, and what should we be doing after things happen. And the fact of the matter is that we live in a time where things are constantly happening, and we're very connected on social media, and we know when things happen in other parts of the world, so we are more aware. But what are you supposed to do when like you have a really funny tweet that you were about to tweet out and you see something tragic happen and you're like, oh, but I really wanted to tweet out this thing about how, you know, balls look like fresh figs with hair on them or whatever it is, you know, like that's not really the best tweet, but you know, people are tweeting out or texting out or saying out ridiculous things all the time. And maybe the trick is, if you think it's inappropriate to say what you were going to say after a tragic incident, maybe like you should treat all the words you ever say as if something sensitive just happened, because then you'll always say good words, which I think is a good rule of thumb. Like, don't ever be a dick, and then no one will ever accuse you of being a dick. I think that makes perfect sense. I also just realized that I have a wristband on my arm still. I feel like overdressed for Moist because I just went to see a really awesome show at Webster Hall. It was the Guys We Ucked experience with Corinne and Christina from the Guys We Ucked podcast. I don't like to say that word, but I just said it in such a crazy way that it drew more attention to the word. But you know the F word, it's a word. Also, why did I give so much power to that word? And I think we do give a lot of power to words. I'm going to take this off because I want to be bath ready. And I think we do give a lot of power to words, and we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously or words too seriously. But we have to be aware that there's always consequences. So you can say whatever you want to say for now, as long as the First Amendment is still a thing. But you have to know that sometimes people are going to get upset. And also, you can never please everyone. There's always going to be someone who's going to get upset, and there's going to be someone who's going to think what you said is great. And just speak from the heart, say what you really want to say what you think needs to be said, and you'll probably be fine. Okay? Cool. So now I'm going to move on to some other things that are less important, perhaps, than terrorism, but who am I to judge what's important? You know, everyone's suffering. And I want to be sensitive to all human suffering, and also let people know that there's no real point in having human suffering because it's just part of this game that is life, that we're all in and we're all learning from, and everything that happens is an act of divine energy, and we can take all experiences as learning experiences that are bringing us closer to enlightenment. This is a hilarious episode.
Oh, it's a good time.
It's so funny. So Tracy says, these white strips aren't working. Oh, by the way, I'm transitioning into what's got people's panties crusty, the second segment in the show. So this is where you guys tell me what's got your panties crusty, and I tell you how to make them moist again. So Tracy says, these white strips aren't working. Okay, first of all, white strips are terrible for your teeth.
Yeah, they really are. That's not a good time.
No, they're not good for your teeth or your gums. They erode the enamel. Enamel is very hard to regrow, and it can permanently damage your teeth. It leaves them weaker and more porous and open to bacteria and stains and just bad stuff happening to your teeth. Also really bad for your gums. It can make your gums recede, and then you get sensitivity and you look crazy. And also, when did we decide that yellow was a bad color? Yellow is the color of gold.
Yeah, it's a good color.
It is the color of the sun, the life-giving sun in our personal planet and ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's what gives life. Yellow is the color of the best part of the egg. No one wants the whites. You only eat the whites when you're on a diet. The yellows make mayonnaise. God's semen. Arguably.
Is it? Well,
it's just a figure of speech.
to get into the technicalities of.
Well, yeah, okay, we could get into science, but also isn't any amount of matter in this earth God's semen?
Could be ovum, too.
Well, it's all part of it.
True.
Mother Earth is the ovum. The earth is the ovum. Every bit of material is God's semen mixed with it. It's all delicious.
Through asexual reproduction.
This isn't a science class. This is all metaphorical, just like the Bible. This is like a Bible class. There's a lot of imagery. There's a lot of symbolism. Basically, love your yellow teeth. I would rather have yellow teeth than zero teeth. Because if you want really white teeth, you could just buy them. You can get those prosthetic teeth. But yellow is the new white. And that's not an Asian reference. So, enjoy.
She literally means the color.
The color, yeah. So enjoy your yellow teeth. Don't do the white strips, please. Plus, I think there's healthier, natural ways to get your teeth a little bit whiter if that's what you're concerned with. I think using just putting a little baking soda in your toothpaste should do the trick. But I'll research that and get back to you, Trace.
Hey, will you tell the audience about sharing this and tagging friends in the comments?
Oh yeah, if you're watching this right now and you're like, this is such an important piece of media that needs to be shared, which it is. Not anyone else in the world is talking about the awkwardness of social media post-terrorist act and or how to embrace the yellow of your teeth. I don't think anyone out there is doing this right now. So share this link right now. I'll give you 3 seconds to share it with your friends, with your enemies, with family members that you think you could use some enlightenment. Share it on your Facebook page. Share it to a group that you like, and do it right now. It's my sharing dance.
I love it. It's beautiful.
And also set your notifications to know next time when I'm going live. Okay, let's keep it rolling because we got a lot today.
Yeah, we do.
So Shauna says gas for 3 days. And we've had a lot of people with different health issues, and my initial reaction to a lot of them is probiotics. You've got gas, that means you've got some fermentation, you've got some things in your digestive tract that are not happy. So adding more probiotics and beneficial flora to your body is just going to help with any situation like that. So fermented foods, sauerkraut, kimchi, plain yogurt, organic, grass-fed, or goat milk yogurt, or non-dairy yogurts. There's so many delicious fermented foods. Also, do the wind relieving pose from yoga, which is one of my favorite poses. I hope I don't actually relieve wind, because then you'll see it when I bubble in the bath.
You know what? That makes people uncomfortable.
That makes people uncomfortable, and that's what the show's about. So basically, you keep one leg straight, and you pull the other leg, pull the knee into your armpit, hold it for a little bit, wiggle it around, squeeze it around, and then you extend that leg, and then you pull the other leg in, do the same thing. And you do that enough, and you should get some toots out. Just any good twists, any good yoga twists are great for relieving gas. Also, avoid sugar, alcohol, and avoid eating fruits with meals or anything sweet with food, because meats and complex carbs take hours to digest, while fruits only take about 20 minutes to an hour to digest. So if the fruit and the meat is in your gut at the same time, the fruit's going to want to be done and move through the system faster, but it has to wait for everything else to get digested, and then that'll create some fermentation, but not the good kind, and it'll create gas. So eat your fruits on an empty stomach. And chew your food
I didn't
more.
actually know that.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know about that. Sequential eating. You should look at the foods that match well together. And yeah, just chew more. Chew more thoroughly. Carrie says, crushing loneliness. And something that is something that I think you're not alone in, which is kind of ironic that a lot of people suffer from loneliness, and by that nature of a lot of people suffering from loneliness, you're not alone in the suffering. You're joined by all the other lonely people. There's even a song about it. I think the Beatles sang? All the lonely people, where do they all come from? They all come from the same place. We all come from the same place, and we return to the same place. We come from our mother's wombs, which is made up of material that comes from Mother Earth, and then we die and we go back to Mother Earth, and it's all a beautiful cycle. And something that's really nice to think about is that you're never actually alone, because you're always with yourself. And if you love yourself, then you don't mind being alone with yourself, because you're having a good time and you're with a cool person. Because it's better to be alone than in bad company.
True.
I'm saying a lot of sayings, but
they're deep though.
But they're all cliches. But cliches are there for a reason, because they have a lot of truth. And you would much rather it's very important to be good on your own, so that you can bring something good to a relationship with another person. Go on a date with yourself, take yourself out for something nice, and then when you do that, you'll be out in the world, and you'll be more likely to meet another person to keep you company than if you stay at home, but also stay at home on Mondays at 11 and watch Moist with me, and we're together.
Yeah, it's a good time.
and work together, and and just love yourself, because you're probably amazing.
Probably.
I mean, if you're
not sure,
definitely amazing if you're into me.
Yeah.
Unless you're those creepy stalkery dudes and you know who you are. So, okay, moving on. Julian, or Julian, hard to say, I don't know, there wasn't an accent on it, says, getting a $5 haircut. How does that make you uncomfortable? $5 haircut is a bargain. I need those because I get my haircut very often with a pixie haircut at least once every 6 weeks. And haircuts can be really expensive, and sometimes I have to go to like a student, and it takes a long time. So $5 haircut's a bargain. I actually commented below Julian's comment and said, where do you get that? And he said Chinatown. So if you're looking for a bargain, go to Chinatown. Thank you for that tip, Julian or Hooligan. And have a good day. Enjoy that cheap haircut. And there's no such thing as a bad haircut, because it grows back. If anything, you'll be original, you know. Start a trend.
Do it.
David says, it's a little too hot in here, but I don't want to turn on the AC. I'm like turning everyone's name Spanish. Maybe your name's just David. Sorry if that's offensive to you. Sorry if I appropriated. I know that's a real hot topic right now. I just think we should all accept.
No, I think you turned it on its head. Like, why shouldn't it be pronounced David? Why would the automatic be David?
It's the same exact thing, and I can pronounce it however I want to. Maybe it's David, or it's David. I think those are all valid pronunciations of that name. Anyways, he says it's a little too hot in here, but I don't want to turn on the AC. And I totally agree with you. Sometimes it is a little too hot, like when you're in a bathtub for an hour doing a Facebook Live show, but I'm actually really comfortable today. But I think it's important to avoid AC unless it's a critical situation, like you really think that you might pass out or have heart failure, because it's healthy for our body to acclimate to temperature, and we are so out of touch with temperatures because in the summer we put AC on and in the winter we put heat on, that our bodies don't even know what season we're in. They don't know how to handle the changes, and we get sick when we go outside, or you're hot and sweaty on the outside, and you go on the subway and it's cold and you get a cold. And I think the best thing is to just kind of, tough it out in any situation, unless it's super extreme. So I agree with you. Also, I think air conditioning is the devil's air. I think it's the devil's exhales. So avoid it. Hugo, or Hugo, says life. So life is making Hugo uncomfortable, and that's what it's supposed to do. No one said it would be easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody said it was easy. I'm just gonna bring songs into this if possible, because why not? Life is supposed to be uncomfortable. That's where we learn the lessons. That's where we grow. It's supposed to be moist and tasty and delicious and interesting. It would be so boring if it were easy. It would be like, I can't even think of anything easy. It'd be like a boring, easy thing. Like when someone likes you too much and you want that little bit of a challenge, you want that, that mystery and that seduction. Like life is a seduction constantly, and it's like a tango, and there's a pull and a push, and that's the beauty of it. Like it's gonna be really easy when you're dead, but it's gonna be boring then. Or maybe it's gonna be super exciting and not easy. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't been there. But enjoy it while you have it, because there are other people who lose it. And that's the truth.
That was good advice.
Thank you. Did you think that I was going to get bad advice? This is Moist with Abby Feldman, live, Mondays at 11.
Only good advice allowed.
No bad advice allowed. There's no such thing as bad advice. Only bad interpretations of advice. What? I can't stop. I'm a machine of advice.
Amazing.
Oh, these are going to be rapid fire. Sarah says, none of my pants fit. My answer is, don't wear any more pants. Either free ball it or free over it, or wear long skirts, which are so comfortable. We've talked about this on previous episodes. You can wear them without underwear and then just spread your legs nonchalantly and pee and hope that no one notices. Also, just don't wear pants if possible. Hernan or Hernan says, I really hope it's Hernan for your sake, because Hernan sounds different. Not that that's a bad thing. This shirt I bought 5 kilos ago is making him uncomfortable. You know what? Buy a new shirt, but buy a new shirt to you used from a thrift store, and donate the shirt that no longer fits you to a thrift store or to people in need, and then we're recycling. You're getting something new to you, someone's getting something new to them, and we're embracing all body shapes and avoiding capitalism and consumerism. Faith says, my sauna isn't ready yet.
Ugh.
This
horrible.
Your sauna's not ready yet is your problem, then you are doing okay. Also, like I said, you should limit your exposure to sauna time because it can be intense. So just make sure you drink a lot of water and lemon when you go in there, and take it easy, and make sure you eat light foods before and after because your body's detoxing. It's a whole thing. Also, F you for having a sauna. Had to say it. Aguedo or Aguedo says, lack of a thigh gap since age 7. First of all, I never had a thigh gap. I was a chubby 7-year-old running around on the soccer field chafing away. So if you had that when you were 7, you're lucky. Also, thigh gaps are overrated, and it's nice to have extra meat on your thighs because it protects you. You know, it prevents unwanted things from entering in between your thighs. So just enjoy that juicy thigh meat. No one wants to eat chicken thighs that are skinny. You want to eat a fat chicken thigh, and you want someone, I'm going to want to eat, your fat chicken thighs. What's up, Aguero?
Nice.
Hey, yo. Another David or David says, las publicaciones en inglés. I think we know that it was David now.
Yeah.
And lo siento que está todo en inglés, pero pronto vamos a hacer un capítulo en español, pronto. I don't know when, but we're going to do a Spanish language episode soon, so van a poder entender en ese momento. Okay, so those were rapid fire. Do we have more? I'm out of all of the questions, so this means we can take some questions from you guys, or we don't have that much time left, so I can get right into bedtime stories and potty humor. What do you guys want to hear?
Yeah, let's see. Well, someone asked if you'd seen the show My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yes, love it.
Someone said, hey, Sticky.
Oh my gosh, that's my friend Carly.
And to say to keep up the singing.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll sing based on what the next thing Claudia says. I'll make a song about. Next word.
Let's see. There's some people who said te amo.
Okay, I'll make a song about it.
Okay.
Te amo. Te amo porque eres mi amigo. Estoy robando la melodía de una canción. Te amo es una canción muy conocida, pero no me sé la letra, así que estoy inventando otras cosas porque quiero seguir cantando.
A little bit.
I stole the melody of a famous song that says te amo, but I didn't know the lyrics. So I just put my own in there, but I took the melody. And for those of you out there who know that song, you know what I did. Copyright. Sorry.
Copyright 2017.
But I think it was short enough for me to get away with it.
Yeah.
We're good. And I did different words, so I'm safe. Ooh, let's do another song. That was fun for me and nobody else, I'm aware, but
yeah.
I'm into it.
Just said, do you dig Latinas a lot? I don't know, do you?
I do dig Latinos a lot. I mean, I dig all human beings, and I dig all cultures. I think I'm what people would consider a xenophile or like a xenomaniac. Like, I love studying other cultures and I love anything that's foreign. I just am fascinated by it. Like, I'm the opposite of a xenophobe. I don't understand why people don't want foreign things coming into our country or like eating foreign foods when people are like, I just eat fries. I'm like, I want curry on everything. But yeah, I have dated mostly Latino men, and also I speak the language, so that's cool. But maybe I'm branching out a little bit. So get at me, other ethnicities. What's up?
She has the language advantage.
I do have the language advantage, and I like that Latinos are like more expressive and like into, you know, I don't know, like gesticulating, and they're like more expressive and what's the word? Like gregarious, demonstrative.
Oh, gregarious is a good word.
Gregarious, but I meant to say demonstrative of like
yeah.
their feelings and their expressions. But I will say, and unfortunately, I have so many Latino friends, and I love you all, but there is very deep-rooted machismo in Latin culture.
It's a really big problem.
It's a big problem, and I've had issues with it in the past, and I know that everyone's trying to evolve and blah blah blah, but it's not totally there. And I think I'm gonna sing a song about it. Okay?
Yeah.
Real quick song about machismo. Machismo is not good. It is bad. It is weird. It's not that it's bad, it's just really odd because a lot of guys that are and are like really lovely and loving and want to be there for their women and make equality happen, but it hurts their egos when they're with women who are like really ambitious and smart and amazing and brilliant like I am, and so it's hard for them to handle that. So it's kind of hard to be in a relationship with people that are from that culture, but it's cool because I feel like if you're open and aware, then you're already making progress. And this is kind of like a weird rap thing. I'm more like singing with my body than with my voice, and it's like I don't even know what melody is or how to carry a tune, and it's kind of crazy. And I'm like doing a weird thing with my body. Don't be machistic, don't be a dick stick, just be a good person in general.
That was a wild ride. I like how you chose that one to do in English.
Yeah, I did. I went English with machismo. It was cool. It's fun to like dance and sing with your body.
Yeah.
So, I feel
Isn't there a place, there's like a street in New York where they do that all the time? I don't know what it's called.
Broadway?
Yeah.
Where they dance with your body and they sing and make musical stories. Come alive with the jazz hands.
Yeah, we needed the jazz hands.
So, we're running out of time, and I haven't gotten to bedtime stories or potty humor. But maybe today is just a special day where we don't have to follow structure. Also, I forgot to mention that I'm being joined by Rob and Claudia.
Yes, the voices you cannot see.
They're here, and this has been so moist and wonderful. I'm going to get deeper in and maybe tell one bedtime story. Okay, so is there any suggestion there, Claudia?
Are there any suggestions for
a bedtime
story? Not yet. Guys, comment with some bedtime story suggestions.
I feel like we could just tell. I'm just gonna tell one based on this whole terrorism bombing thing and how I think I'm gonna go with death and try to help people go to bed and not be worried about this kind of stuff.
Sounds good.
So I feel like I have to start everyone with once upon a time, so that's what I'm gonna do. Once upon a time, there was a village in the middle of an island in the middle of the ocean, and they'd never seen any other people. But they knew for some reason that there were other people in the world, and they prayed every day and did dances and ceremonies to try to bring people from other places in the world. They wanted one person from each region of the world, from each culture, to come and be a representative, and they kept chanting and dancing and summoning the gods to make their wish come true. And one day a person arrived, and it was a black person. And the next day someone arrived, and they were like an Asian person. And then the next day someone arrived, and they were white. And the next person to arrive was like a mixed race person. And the next person was like indigenous American person. And eventually there was just someone from all over the world on this island, and they they mixed with each other, and they all formed one kind of uniform race, color, ethnicity thing. And since nobody was from the same place, they couldn't speak their original languages. They had to come up with a new language. They developed this new language, and it was called Squawktit. It was called Squawktit.
Yeah.
And it was basically just making guttural noises and gesturing when they wanted to do stuff, but they talked very little. They realized that verbal communication was confusing to them, and they had all this miscommunication with the words, and they just started to hug to communicate, and they would hug each other to say when they were angry and when they were happy. And this way people always felt safe, and they didn't feel insecure. They always felt accepted. They understood that even when people were angry or upset about something, they were still belonging to this community. And nobody ever killed each other on this island. Nobody ever got physically violent, because they always felt like they were part of the other person. And by feeling like they were part of them and they were all family in this community, they didn't want to hurt their own family. And then they developed technology to see what was going on in the rest of the world, and they saw all these violent acts happening, and they were horrified and so sad. So they sent out all their representatives to the other parts of the world where their ancestors had come from, to show them how to create peace and love. And when all of their representatives arrived to the different places in the world, they were immediately met with animosity and violence, and they were all killed. And the lesson there is, don't kill the people that are different. Be more like the island people, because otherwise you just killed the people that are the most magical.
That was deep. I loved it.
I loved it too. I like that story.
I did.
And I like that I went dark with it, because people were expecting a happy ending, but no. Because history has shown that we always kill the person coming with the salvation. Like, we killed Jesus, and we killed,
That's like the alternate ending to Get Out, where it doesn't actually.
I didn't see that movie.
Okay, then I won't spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it. But also, we've always killed, we kill the people who come with the peace messages, like Lenin and all these beautiful people who have messages of peace. Also, sometimes that makes the message of peace get stronger, because people are all up in arms about it, but not up in arms. They should be up in arm hugs. Basically, what I'm saying is hug people more.
You have the right to bear arms.
You have the right to bear hugs. Bear hugs.
Oh.
You have the right to bear hugs. Okay, that's how I'm going to end this show. I hope you guys have a good night. Next week, I'm going to be joined by a guest, most likely. Don't forget to like the page, like Abby Feldman
Turn
Live.
on notifications.
Turn on notifications, and when you're thinking of hurting or killing someone, try hugging them instead, and you'll probably just end up making out or something cool. Bye.